Following the wave of anti-government protests witnessed in the country that left a number of journalists victims to police brutality, tonight we tell the story of Kelvin Odhiambo, a freelance photojournalist who says he was abducted by the police while filming the recent streets protests, taken to a unknown location where he also says he was interrogated in the most inhumane condition. Kelvin was however released, and he now tells the tales of agony, physical assault and sexual harassment while in police detention.
Over a month ago, Kenya was processed through the two sides of history. Peaceful demonstrations surged to the unprecedented, while on the parallel, the police meted out force never seen before in a bid to quell protests, which had stemmed from the resentment against the contentious finance bill of 2024. In the thick of it all was Kelvin Odhiambo, a freelance photojournalist who was abducted by police in the line of duty while capturing what many call the most incriminating images of the police enforcing law. His disappearance made rounds on social media, among tens of others also reported missing at the time. However, Kelvin has since been released, and today he tells us his story. Our journey in search for Kelvin Odhiambo starts right here at KUTV offices. Now, he's told us he's somewhere around the Nairobi CBD, and that's where we are going to find him. Come with us. Kelvin's ordeal with the police has instilled a level of fear in him. Even while he walks in town, he looks a disturbed man. He says his boldness almost cost him his life. When the police saw him capture the live shooting of protesters, they put him on their target list.
The other protesters, and as I'm documenting at the same time, it came to a point I felt I'm not in a safe spot with the police, because one asked me, which media are you working with? He could see I have a press jacket, so I just shoved him and continuing filming.
And then he got arrested.
So as I was leaving, heading home, I got arrested by police officers. They were men in blue. They arrested me. They did not have a badge number, so I could not identify who they are.
Alone in the hands of the police, it got rough and physical.
When I was exchanged from the police truck to the white pro box, it was rough, it was physical, because they manhandled me.
Kelvin says the police sexually harassed him as they interrogated him.
The two men had sandwiched me, wakaanza kuniharas, the sexual assault. I was pressed in between my groins and being asked questions that I don't even have answers as we are proceeding out of CBD.
He says they drove him to a rough road, although he was blindfolded and not able to clearly tell where they were.
We drove like almost 31 hour. I could feel tulienda, we were off-road. I could feel because the ride was bumpy and it wasn't that smooth. It was just bumpy. And it was getting quiet. Then I knew probably I'm being taken out of CBD.
After the driving, they got into a room.
Mimi vile nilipelekwa in the room, I was in a different space. I couldn't tell if we were in the same room or in a different room, but I could tell there's someone else there. My hands were tied at my back and I've been blindfolded at the same time.
Here, he was interrogated violently and indecently, the police wanting to know, among other things, who had sent Kelvin and who was behind the protests.
So, nikiwa nimekalishwa chini, this man alinisimamisha. I was like, nilikuwa nimechokiwa on the wall, and he was really pressing hard on my groins, insisting for me to talk and give them information of who is funding the protest, why am I filming, and what is the intended purpose for me having these footages.
Kevin had only one answer, that he had no idea, an answer that didn't sit well with his captors.
I begged him and I told him, I don't know who's doing this, because if you can see in the news, everyone is saying it has no leader. For me, I'm just here documenting what needs to be documented. And he felt as if I'm not cooperating. The assault continued, and he began getting physical with me. So he felt like there isn't much to do with me. Akaniachilia, nikaekwa kwa floor. I can remember up to this date, the floor was so cold, man. Very cold.
Left on the cold floor, for the first time, the idea of his death crossed his mind.
In this room, I knew for sure I'm going to die. And if I manage to leave this place, maybe by miracle, because I'm helpless, nimechapwa, I am weak, I've been assaulted already.
Fortunately, and by the grace of God, Kevin survived. After long hours of cold and hunger, Kevin was released, but not just released, but dumped along Wayakiwe by his oppressors. Up to date, Kevin has never known whom his interrogators are, nor seen their faces. What he carried away was lifelong psychological trauma, and his life having changed for good.
Mnene for a fact. What I went through, no human deserves to go through it.
KUTV.